Hi there, I'm Sheetal and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to discuss with all of you some healthy habits I've picked up along the way, which has helped me immensely in getting back in shape after my pregnancies and delivery, and also in improving my fitness levels to something that is much better than the way they were before I became pregnant. Exercise through your pregnancy and after your delivery. My gynecologist very clearly asked me to do squats and lunges and wall push ups and things like that. It was a slow journey, but I started doing it regularly every day. And I really found, and to this day, I feel that it increased my fitness to such a level that I can't tell you. It was very difficult for me initially. But then my doctor was very clear that if I would have to stay off sugars and even fruits and all, I had limitations on how much I could take and all. Otherwise, she was worried that I would develop gestational diabetes, as that's very common these days. When you stay off sugar for some time, you actually do reset your tolerance level. So your tongue starts to find sweetness at a much lower rate than it used to before. So fruits started look seeming much sweeter for me than it used to before, especially the fruits that are not considered to be too sweet. Now, this is not to say that I don't enjoy the occasional treats. I do. Even now, I do. But most of the time, I realize that when I go out and eat, say, a brownie or a cake, I don't really enjoy it as much as I enjoyed before because I really feel that the sweetness is so high that the other flavors are not coming together for me. When I'm really in the mood for something sweet and I really want to have that, I try and do something at home. Like I try and make something at home. But make sure you have things that are very, very easily available. You just have to reach your hand and it's out there, but it's something healthy for you. Stay active as much as you can after your delivery. Consciously deciding to stay active and actually doing it really made a difference in the amount of weight I lost. Rice is something I really like. Now, when I say rice, I'm not talking about the white rice. So, I come from Kerala, and there we have this boiled rice that we get. Matta rice, it's called. That's a red rice. Red rice is apparently even more nutritious and fibrous than brown rices. I grew up on that and I love that. So, any diet or anybody who used to talk to me about staying off rice used to just put me off. But one thing I did, I made sure that if I take a plate, half of it would be filled with vegetables, either one type or it could be a cooked vegetable and a salad, or something like that. One quarter would be the carbs and one quarter would be the protein. So I did eat my rice and I did manage to lose weight. Only thing is, the quantity would be lesser. It would be one quarter of the plate. When you have a lot of food on a big plate, you don't realize that it is a lot of food. But the moment you make the size of the plate smaller, it looks very full even when you take a little bit of food. And this gives you a visual cue that you've got enough food on your plate. And this consequently means that you will be satisfied having lesser because in your mind, you've had a full plate of food. Yeah, I know you will be knowing somewhere that this is a smaller plate as compared to a bigger plate, but still this works. And I've tried it multiple times. I know this is easier said than done. And for me also it was very difficult. But I've really seen how it works. How much ever fat you put in your food at home, it'll never match what you eat from outside. And in case you have to eat from outside, make sure that you go for the healthier dishes. Like as much as possible, I try to eat tandoori roti and chicken tikka and things like that, which are less oily than butter chicken, which I know would have to be more creamy. Our energy requirements change. And that is something that we most often overlook. Keep track of your weight. This is just a broad, keeping track of where I'm going kind of a way. If you see that your weight is gaining too much, it might be because it's time for you to change your food intake a bit to match with what your energy requirements are now. And this was a recalibration I kept doing from the time of my baby's delivery till today. I never went in for drastic cuts. Suddenly, if you reduce it, you're just going to go hungry. It's not going to help you, and you are going to be in a really bad mood. So I used to reduce a little, 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 little until my tummy got used to that new normal so to speak, and would be satisfied with that. Don't sit around too much. That is a huge thing you can do to help yourself. So, one thing I used to do all the time was if I'm watching TV, then I used to walk. So, I would make a space, a pathway where I could walk while watching TV. So, I would rearrange my sofa and my chairs and things around like that until I had enough of a clear pathway to keep walking and watching the TV. The advantage is once you get used to it and it becomes a habit, you start getting, kind of like an itch if you're sitting around too much. I have that now. So then I have to get up and start walking. Try and include your baby or your child in your workout. I used to go on walks with my baby in her pram or stroller, and I would have a brisk walk with her along. I even got a pram which has a reversible handle. So the brilliant thing is I can push her with her facing to the front most of the time. And then once she starts getting a little restless, I can reverse the handle and push the pram in such a way that she would be facing me. So she would be seeing me, I can talk to her, all that those things that will make sure that she stays put in her pram and enjoys her ride while I can get a little more time out of my workout. All these colas, I used to stay away from that because I was always very aware of the fact that this one is full of sugar. As soon as you take a drink, you know. And though it might make you feel very good at that point in time, immediately afterwards you will start feeling, probably another half an hour, you'll start feeling a little restless. So try and figure out what are the things that agree with your body and don't. Start giving more attention to it. More than half the time, that'll be enough to keep you away from those. Whenever I have a dessert, like a cake or ice cream or a brownie, these days what I do is I make sure to add a few nuts on top of it, cashew nuts, peanuts, whatever I can get my hands on. And very often I notice that it actually kind of fills me up and makes me feel much more satisfied. And I'm able to stop my desserts with that rather than keeping on eating it. They make that food look so appetizing, so lovely that taste, aroma, all of that you can actually literally taste, even though you're watching a show, you can still taste it. I notice that whenever I watch something like that, immediately after that, I get this urge to eat something sweet or something very rich or something fatty. Sometimes, if I don't have something at home, then I'll make it myself and eat it. So, once I started watching shows which just show food as normal food, I realized that it is not having as much of an impact on me. So, this is something you might want to keep an eye out for as well. I stopped watching MasterChef, which used to be one of my favorite shows, but then I realized that the amount of eating that I was doing after that was huge. Not just me, but my husband also. So this is not just to do with me. I think it's a common phenomenon all of us have. There's this earlier actress, Samira Reddy, and she has this movement called Imperfectly Perfect. And she talks about how after delivery and after a baby and all, and when people have so much unrealistic expectations from you, and you yourself have so much unrealistic expectations from you and your body, that how unhealthy it can be for you as a person. It can be really toxic. So I would really suggest that slowly get into thinking in terms of health and fitness and the quality of life you can have with your children rather than how you look. So I really hope while this video helps you, it also gives you some kind of a perspective on what is more important in life. Until we meet again, stay safe.